Alright folks, buckle up because today's story is a wild ride, and not in the good way. On today's deep dive of Holy Fuck News, we're diving into the case of Laken Riley, a nursing student with her whole life ahead of her, who was brutally murdered while out on her morning run. It's a tragic story that shouldn't have happened, but here's the real deal. Her killer? An illegal immigrant from Venezuela, someone that should have never been in this country in the first place. Naturally, this have blown up debates about immigration, justice, and how our tax dollars are being used, or should I say, abused. Oh, and wait till you hear about the Roosevelt Hotel angle. It's the part that will really make your blood boil. Let's connect the dots. Before we dive into the chaos, let's first talk about the victim, Laken Riley. She wasn't just another name in the headlines. She was someone who worked hard, loved her family, and was pursuing her dream of becoming a nurse. You know, one of those people who actually contributes to society, unlike myself. Imagine waking up in the morning, tying up your running shoes, thinking it was just another day. That's what Laken did, but she never came home. What's so devastating about this is that it wasn't just a random act of violence. It was preventable. This man shouldn't have been here. The murderer, a Venezuelan national who crossed the border illegally, had a rap sheet and connections to violent gangs. Oh, and guess who helped him get into Georgia? Yep, that's right, Uncle Sam. So let's get into the nitty-gritty. Now, with the trial just wrapping up last week, the jury didn't waste any time. Guilty on all counts, every single one, just as he should. He'll spend the rest of his life in prison, and honestly, good riddance to him. This guy is sitting in a US prison, eating 3 meals a day on your dime. The same dime that was used to fly him to Georgia in the first place on what they called a humanitarian flight. Yeah, let that sink in. Humanitarian. Meanwhile, Laken's family is left to pick up the pieces, and there's no flight, humanitarian or otherwise, to bring her back to life.
Your Honor, I stand here today as a grieving father whose heart was shattered in ways I never thought possible. My daughter Laken Riley was not just our child, she was the light of my life, the person who brought joy to every room she entered. And now that light has been extinguished forever, taken from us in the most senseless and violent way imaginable. I hope justice is served for her, not only because I'm her father, but because she deserves it. I ask that you consider this life that was taken, the pain that has been caused, and the lasting effects of this tragedy on everyone who loved our amazing daughter, Laken Hope Riley. Thank you.
This isn't just a justice issue, it's a massive failure of our entire system. Now, let's talk about that Roosevelt Hotel in New York City. Sounds fancy, am I right? Well, it is. It's a historical hotel in Midtown Manhattan, but it's not just a hotel anymore. It's basically becoming an Airbnb for illegal immigrants, but with you footing the bill. The government has been renting this place out to asylum seekers, and guess who checked in there before heading to Georgia? Yep, our favorite convicted murderer. But wait, it gets better. The Roosevelt is actually owned by the Pakistani government, so not only are we housing illegal immigrants in luxury accommodations, we're also sending hundreds and millions of dollars to Pakistan in the process. That's like getting slapped in the face and saying, "Here, take my wallet too." New Yorkers are fuming, and who can blame them? Rent's going through the roof, people are struggling, and yet illegal immigrants get a free stay in Midtown with meals included. If this doesn't make your blood boil, are you even human? Now, this wasn't just any other illegal immigrant. This guy was allegedly tied to violent Venezuelan gangs. These aren't people fleeing persecution, they're fleeing prosecution. And thanks to our broken immigration system, they're bringing their crime rings with them. These gangs aren't just in New York anymore, they're spreading like a wildfire across the country, including places like Georgia, where Laken was killed. And here's the kicker. I'm not talking about the Jets losing again, but cities like Los Angeles are doubling down on being sanctuary cities. They're protecting people just like this guy from federal prosecution. It's like setting up a "welcome criminals" sign. Compassion is one thing, but we're crossing into straight up stupidity here. So, let's compare this to legal immigrants. You know, the one who actually follow the rules, just like my father, pay thousands of dollars and spend years waiting to come here, go through criminal checks and go through the system correctly. I've got friends who've jumped through flaming hoops to get a green card, only to be told, sorry, not enough spots this year. Meanwhile, someone crosses the border illegally, claims asylum, and is put up in a luxury hotel. Make it make sense, please. But before anyone says, yo, aren't you being too harsh? No, this isn't being about anti-immigrant, it's being about pro-common sense. As you can see, I'm obviously an immigrant as well. We can have compassion without compromising public safety. We can help those in need without turning a blind eye to criminals in exploiting the system. So here's the thing, this case isn't just about Laken Riley. As tragic as her story is, it's a wake-up call for all of us. If we don't fix this broken system, there will be more Laken Rileys, more innocent people caught in the crossfire of bad policy and worse enforcement. And what's even scarier, the ripple effect. Cities are overwhelmed, resources are being stretched thin, and our faith in institutions are crumbling. People just don't trust the government to keep them safe anymore. And honestly, can you blame them? We're throwing billions of dollars at a problem and it's only making it worse. So, what's the solution? It starts with holding our leaders accountable. No more free rides for criminals, no more sanctuary policies that protect lawbreakers over law-abiding citizens, and no more pretending that this isn't a problem. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Are we doing enough to fix this mess? Or is it time to clean the house? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an update. Thank you for tuning in, and remember, stay safe and stay informed. See ya, bye!